Now we're going to talk about something called network mapping. So let's say you're connected to a network, or you connected to your target network, and now you want to discover all the connected devices to this network. So there might be 5, 6, or 10 devices connected to this network, and you want to gather information about these devices. You want to know their IP address, their MAC address, their operating system, and maybe even the programs that are running on these devices. All this information will make achieving your target easier. So if you know what operating system runs, you can look for exploits for that operating system. If you can see, for example, port 21 open, maybe you'll try to connect to it through FTP and see if there is an anonymous account. If not, try to see what FTP server is running and look for buffer overflow exploits and maybe try to exploit them. Maybe even if you find local exploits, you can send something to the target person and wait to gain access to their device. We're going to talk about all that later, but for now, we're just going to see how we can gather information about these devices, see what services they're running, and maybe try to gain access to these devices. So I'm going to show you a few ways or a few apps that you can use to do that. We're going to start by the simplest and the ones that give you less information, but they're quick. And then we're going to go to the more complicated, more advanced apps. So for a start, just to get an idea of what network mapping is, I'm going to use the same app that we used before, Wi-Fi Analyzer. So I'm just going to tap on it. And right now I'm actually connected to my network. So if we go to the AP list, you can see that I'm connected to TY2. So I'm going to go here on this 3 dots right there. And I'm going to go on Tools. And I'm going to tap on LAN Neighbors. So this will basically look through all the connected devices and it will show me information about these devices. Now, first of all, you can actually see some info about the current network. So you can see the IP of the gateway. The IP of the gateway basically means the IP of the router or the server of this network. So this is where whenever any device wants to access something within the network, it's going to send its request here. So if it wants to access any website or anything, it's going to send its request to this IP. You can also see the net mask and the network size. So this is all the possible IPs that you can find within the network. And that's basically the range, that what specifies the range, which is from 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.254. If you look up the first one, now we know the gateway is 192.168.1.1. So if we look at the first device, we can see that this has the same IP. So that must be our router or our server for the network. And you can see that it's HTC, so it's made by HTC. It was able to detect that. And then when we look on the other device right here, we can see that we have one device connected to the network, and that's 192.168.1.45. And the username is S00S, and that's actually my Linux machine right here. So I'll just show you that if I open my terminal. You can see that the name of my machine is S00S. So it was able to find the name of this machine because it's connected to the same network, so I was able to get that. It also got me my MAC address right here. So I'm going to show you that this is correct. So if I go iwconfig and this is my wireless card, ifconfig eth1. As you can see, the MAC address is actually the same, so it was able to get the MAC address of this device as well. It was also able to get the manufacturer of my wireless card, which is this right here. Now I'm going to go back, and if you go on the OUI lookup from the tools, it will basically just tell you the manufacturer of any device using the MAC address. Now the device has to be connected to your network. So I'm just going to do the same. It already got this for me, so I'm just going to do it just to show you. So I'm just going to put the MAC address of my laptop, which is C01885. And as you can see, it actually got it already right here. So that's it for now. Very simple tool. It allows you to discover all the connected device in your network. Now in the future videos we're going to be using more advanced tools, and we'll see that they'll actually show us much more information than this tool.